Hello everyone. It is still cold. The geese are starting to pair off into breeding groups. You see he's a lot more protective of the water than normal, or than the rest of the year. This is normal for this time of year. So I should start separating them into their different areas. However, it's cold, and I want them to be able to be together to keep themselves fairly warm, because when they're in here, when all of them are in here together, probably can't see in there, it actually is quite warm in here overnight. Well, maybe you shouldn't have got in the water then. Look at all those drops of water frozen on his feathers. Maybe you shouldn't have had a bath in -20. They never listen. But their feet are all intact so far. The muscovies are the ones that are most sensitive to this weather. Wow, looks like the geese aren't the only one going into breeding season. Hey, ducks. And there are the two Emdens. They're so well behaved compared to the other geese. I like you two. Yes, I do. You're huge. You're like goose cows. Enormous. And then behind them are the Pekin ducks. Oh, that's pretty. You're very pretty. So the Pekins, the white birds in the back, are not a heritage breed of duck. They're a current market breed of duck. And the same with these Emdens in the front here. They're not like a heritage one. They're a current market breed, which is why they're so big, and so they're white as well. Wow, you're beautiful. That was just a little bit of a territory flex there. Anyhow, they do white feathers on modern birds because then when you pluck the birds, you can't see the feathers if they miss a couple, and the skin is white, which is what consumers in North America like. So when you go to the store and you get a chicken or a goose or a duck, which is probably less likely, and it has white skin, that's not because geese and ducks normally have white skin. That's because that's just the kind of duck that they use, or kind of chicken that they use for that purpose. You'll notice up here, there's a patch of feathers. You can see that. And that's where a bird was sitting, and its feathers froze onto its poop. And then it had to pull these feathers out of its butt in order to get away. So that's unpleasant, but it happens. Another little clump up there. It's why I like to keep the straw in here nice and loose, so that if their feathers freeze to it, then they don't have to pull them out. They just have a bit of straw stuck to their butt for a little while. Whew. Hey, rooster. But so far, everyone seems to be holding up pretty well. A little shivering there. Everyone's sitting in the sun. The sun bounces off of that wall and heats it up right there. Yeah. Hi, piglets. They're barely able to get through the fence now. It takes a lot of wiggling, but they do still come out. Yeah. Hi, Avalou. And then in here, the chickens go in here during the day, probably because it's a greenhouse, so it warms up during the day. It doesn't hold heat during the night, but it does warm up during the day, so they can scratch around and dust bathe, and they still have access to the food and water when these piglets are not busy accessing the food and water instead, or the geese. I just put out that bale of hay for the geese because you can see this bale here, they've kind of exploded. And then Avalou and Thea and the piglets have been kind of sleeping in there. It's nice and insulated. But it's in the cold part of the yard. You can see there's sun everywhere else, but the house blocks the sun right here. So I was hoping I could get them to go over there into the sun to sit. But instead they have gone up here into the sun to sit in the driveway, which is fair, but not really where I want them. Oh wow, you can see, don't know if it shows, the south side of my house is steaming. Oh, and there's a little, so with your plumbing, you have a little, essentially a gas vent that comes out of it so that the gas doesn't go into your house. And that's that second little tiny pipe to the left there. You can see it has a little cap of ice and it's streaming just a little bit of steam. Oh man, I hope it warms up soon. It's supposed to be one more day of this. It's about minus 20 during the day, minus 30 at night for a couple days. You can see I've given the pigs a lot of straw. My straw pile is a lot smaller now. We shouldn't have too many more weeks of this real cold. But I wanted to make sure they stayed warm, which the ones in here definitely have been staying warm. But they've also been spreading a lot of the straw on the ground. And what that means is that under this straw, there's snow. So the straw insulates, which means it'll take a long time for this to thaw out in the spring. But you can see they kind of sleep underneath the straw there. It's a pig shape. They burrow under it and use it as bed sheets. But up here, hey friendly, they've been digging all the straw out, pretty much as I put in. And they still kind of burrow down in there to sleep, but I don't know. I don't know that they have enough to make themselves nice sheets, but I guess they're still sleeping in there. Hey, are we all in heat? Penny was in standing heat yesterday. Friendly, I don't know, has not got pregnant yet, so probably can't. Look at those bristles. Your bristles are so great, Friendly. Yeah, they're so great. They're so great. Yeah. Wow, those are beautiful. Those tips. And then in this little house here, you can see they keep chewing away at that tree. That used to be a whole tree. Now it's like there's some sticks left where they can't reach, but not much. And then in here, I don't think they're really sleeping in here much. Oh, someone is. they're okay. I haven't even seen them shivering yet. They do have quite a bit of fat insulation. The little guys probably have an inch and a half, something like that. The bigger ones have between 2, 2.5, maybe 3 on the biggest ones. So, like someone said the other day, it's both insulation and a fuel tank. They're doing okay. You can see their water for the last several days. And just a beautiful blue sky right now. Wow. So yeah, we're doing all right, but about ready for this to be over and for it to be warm again. Hey cuties, how are you gonna get back in there? You want to show us? You want to show us you going through the fence? Can you get through? No, not really? Not feeling it? Too difficult? You're too big? Too big. Can you go through? Guess not. I know that over there is where they normally go through, under those trees. Okay. Well, I need to go back in. Oh, there. He's trying. He's trying. How do you get through? Hey, gruntlings? Oh. 1 foot? Nope. That was just 1 foot. So how are you getting through then? You want to show me, little ones? Show me where? If they're getting through somewhere other than just through the slats of the fence, it would be good to know. Oh, there. Just made it. Hard to believe. And that one, I guess, is going to go up here. He's still trying there. Oh, there. Sort of. Okay. It's like the bottom one on the end. I'm gonna try that. Oh, barely. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be too much more of that for you. This one must be just high enough for them to get through. Well, there we go. Time to go back in. You all have a good afternoon.